The New Orleans Saints are the hardest team to rebuild in Madden, simply because they literally implode on themselves. Huge shout out to Ski Mask for the suggestion. Their link is in the description. Go drop them a sub. I've already done that. So if you want a shout out just like that one, just let me know what team to rebuild next, because when I pick your comment, I'll give you a shout out, I'll drop you a sub, and tell everyone else to go drop you a sub. And be sure to drop a like and a sub, and turn on notifications for my channel. All three of those things help me out a ton, and they take you like 2 seconds. Let's see if we can get to 560 subs, which we are very close, and 30 likes on this video. I think we can easily do both of those, and imagine if everyone watching did that. We'd be at like 1,000 subs and fucking 300 likes already, so be sure to do that. But that's enough plugging. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. It was a very fun one, a very hard one. Pause, and let's get into today's video. This Saints team has been disappointing this year. I thought they had a legitimately very good roster with, you know, Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas, Ryan Ramczyk, Eric McCoy, Chris Olave, Tyrann Mathieu, Marcus May, Demario Davis, who in my opinion is the best linebacker in the league, Cam Jordan, Marcus Davenport, Marshawn Lattimore, David Onyemata even. Like, this is a really good roster. However, it's been very disappointing. Now, part of the reason I thought this team would be good is because I thought this would be the Jameis Winston breakout season, but he got injured and he hasn't gotten his job back. He didn't play very well. I believe he had more interceptions than touchdowns. He was not great. He has been replaced by Andy Dalton, who kind of looks like his old self. That is a horrifying face scan. What is wrong with his hair? Am I tripping? Something looks so weird about that. I don't know what it is, but anyways, Andy Dalton kind of looks like his old self. I thought he was one of the more underrated QBs in the league for a while when he was on the Bengals, but now he's kind of back to that form in a sense. He's been legitimately decent this year. Nothing crazy, obviously, but these are my custom rosters. I have him at a 74 over Jameis, Mr. 30 for 30 himself, 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions. I thought the LASIK would fix him. Boy, it didn't really do anything. But anyways, let's suck myself off here. That's a horrible way to phrase it. Chris Olave has been just as good as I expected. He was borderline my wide receiver 1 in the class. I almost thought he was better than Garrett Wilson, and the Saints are kind of proving me right. He's been very good this year. I believe leads rookie receivers in yards. Don't quote me on that, but he's been very solid on an otherwise very disappointing Saints team, obviously. Just watching him in college was one of the most fun things ever. He ran like he was made of water or something. I don't know how to explain it, but I don't know. His routes were just kind of crazy. I liked it a lot. Pick I wasn't so fond of was Trevor Penning. I thought you already had a passable lineman on the team in James Hurst, but hey, they overdrafted a very raw tackle, so we'll see what happens. Other than that, though, there isn't much to talk about with the offense. I mean, there are good players there, but there's nothing to really say about them. Defensively here, Tyrann has kind of surprised me. He's been legit decent. I've always thought he was very overrated. I have never thought he was the best safety in the league, but this year he's been looking a little more like that. He's been decent for sure. They signed Chris Harris off the street. Kind of just a weird old team, but it's a very good one on paper. Not to mention Pete Werner, who I didn't say anything about earlier, but I think he's a very good linebacker. Also, these defensive tackles have great names. Shy Tuttle, Malcolm Roach, Kentavious Street or Kevin Street. I feel like they're both in the league. I can't remember which this is. Yeah, this is Kentavious Street. Okay. And then Albert Huggins, just a great defensive tackle room in terms of names. Also, I definitely want to get Paulson Adebo some playing time, so we're going to do a little bit of that. But I'll rearrange this depth chart a little more, and let's get to the midseason point of year number 1. Okay, that's kind of weird. At the midseason point, we're 2-5. Isn't that exactly what they were in real life? Okay, yeah, they were 2-5, and then they beat the Raiders and ended up 3-5. So, hey, look, I've said Madden is unrealistic about 1,000,000 times, but this is pretty realistic. I'm not gonna lie. But let's see what the problem is. What's going on? Andy Dalton is not playing very well. Who would have guessed? I could actually bench him for Jameis, or we could keep him in and hope for a higher draft pick. Actually, I'll start Jameis because you never know. He could break out. We'll see. Everything else looks about fine, though. Blocking is very good. Pass rush is solid. Interceptions, we only have 4, but hey, it's whatever. So I am actually going to start Jameis just because he is younger and Andy Dalton's not doing super great. so we will find out what we have in Jameis Winston. But we have some re-signings. I think we're gonna be absolutely broke. Yeah, we have negative 20 mil in cap. Wow, I forgot about that. That's kind of like the whole meme of the Saints. Like, they're just always literally like $60 million over the cap, and they somehow just cheese it to make it work. But don't think we're gonna be able to do that here, because we can't just randomly extend players and push the money back. So we'll figure it out. But let's see. I definitely want to set the focus position to QB. We definitely want one of those. It was already on it, and it looks like it's a strong suit of this class, so that's very good. And we have some upgrades before we jump to the end of the year. Let's see. Paulson Adebo. Ooh, that's pretty nice. We'll go slot like always, up to a 74 overall. +4, man, let's go. Obviously, with that star dev, he should prove to be a very good corner throughout this rebuild. I expect him to develop into at least our number 2. Maybe he could become good enough to... No, he won't be our number 1 with Marshawn Lattimore there, but he should be a solid 2 throughout the rebuild, so hopefully he can develop even more. He's already up 2 overall, clearly, so we're actually probably pretty set there, assuming we don't have to re-sign him, because we're probably going to be broke. But no, we won't have to re-sign him until like the second to last year of the rebuild, or the last year of the rebuild, so we're good. Maybe it was a mistake to start Jameis, because we finish 8-9. We're not going to get a great draft pick, and that's... Yeah, Jameis was pretty good. 16 touchdowns, only 3 picks. That's borderline good enough for me to not replace him. That's very good for half a year. If you played a full year, that would have been like 32 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions. That's very nice. Alvin Kamara with 1,444 yards, 20 touchdowns. It's always fun when players get those repeating stats. I don't know why it's fun to me. It just is. 1,300 yards, 7 touchdowns for Michael Thomas. Chris Olave with only 800 yards. I started him in the slot. Apparently, that's not very good in the Saints scheme. I don't know. 850 yards and 7 touchdowns, though. Adam Troutman was fine. Deontay Hardy was fine. I still need to get used to that. Deontay Hardy. I still want to call him Deontay Harris, but hey, I don't know. It's fine. Blocking was horrific. Trevor Penning let up 17 sacks, and even Ryan Ramczyk let up 15. That's really bizarre. Well, hopefully that just sorts itself out. I have a feeling it will. 126 tackles from Demario Davis led the team. 13 from Marcus Davenport in terms of tackles for loss. 11 from Tuttle and 11 from Cam Jordan. In sacks, oh, I really hope we can re-sign him. 11 from Marcus Davenport, 8.5 from Cam Jordan, 5 from Tuttle, 4.5 from Onyemata and Demario Davis. Wow. And then 3 interceptions each from Adebo and Lattimore. That's funny. I was just talking about both of them. 2 from May, and then 1 each from Warner and Chris Harris. Let's check out yearly awards, though. I don't think we're going to have anyone even touch the MVP list. It goes to Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts at number 2. Also, I revamped all the quarterback overalls in my custom rosters, so you'll actually see players like Jalen Hurts, Tua, Geno Smith, all the like breakout QBs this year. They'll actually have like top overalls. Like I made Hurts like an 85. I think I made Tua an 86 or an 85 or something. Geno like an 84. So yeah, their overalls kind of reflect where they're playing. My custom rosters are just called Brandon Updated on PC. Don't get mad if some of your favorite players are too low, because you know it's a work in progress. I can't always have the exact overall for every player because there are so many players and it takes a while. So I'll get to that. But offensive player of the year goes to the white boy Cooper Kupp as always. Alvin Kamara at number 5. You love to see it. Why is Randall Cobb always up here? I hate it. Aaron Donald actually wins defensive player of the year, which is kind of a change. Normally it's Nick Bosa. We have Kaiser White up there. That's very random. No Saints though. Offensive rookie of the year goes to Kenneth Walker. Chris Olave at number 4. Keeft up there. Let's go. And Arnold Ebiketie wins defensive rookie of the year. No Saints up here, unfortunately, but let's get into the offseason and let's try to mitigate the damage, I guess, because this might be tough. I take back anything I said about Madden being realistic. The fucking Titans take down the Lions in the Super Bowl. I didn't even change those teams in my rosters. I swear to God, they're 2 of the worst teams in the game, and they're both in the Super Bowl. That's fun. But yeah, the Titans win 35-28 over the Lions. Truly an EA moment. So, for re-signings, we only have negative 3.4 mil. However, before I even check that, I want to see if there are any cuts we can make. No, the answer is no. Actually, I'll cut Andrus Pete, because he is one of the worst guards in the NFL. I don't know how he ever made a Pro Bowl. He is so bad. And Carl Granderson, I'll cut him. I do kind of like him in real life, but like 4 mil is not worth having him on the team as a backup. I'm sorry. Nick Vannett, yeah, not worth 3 mil. There are actually some moves we can make here. I'm kind of happy about it. I still don't think we're going to be able to re-sign anyone major, but we can at least maybe re-sign some decent players. We'll see. Billy Price can go. I think he's a re-sign anyways, so I don't think that's going to save us any money, but we'll do it. And it looks like that's about all I can really do. All right, the dreaded moment of truth. Let's check out the re-signings. We have 8.9 mil. So the main players I want back here are definitely Marcus Davenport, Deontay Hardy, and maybe Shai Tuttle, but that's about it. It's actually not that bad. I thought there were going to be more starters in here. There are only like 5 or 6, but some of them are older anyway. So, I mean, clearly the main priority is going to be Marcus Davenport. However, we have 0 money, so this might honestly just be a tag situation. We're going to have to bump it way down, and he's not interested, but yeah, we're going to tag him. It's only 13 per year. That's actually crazy cheap. That's a complete no-brainer. So that's all we're going to be able to do here clearly, but we got maybe the best player on the team for our future other than maybe like Marshawn Lattimore. So I'm happy with that. Let's basically just get straight to the draft. So we have a bit of a 5th-year option for Cesar Ruiz. That's going to be a hard pass for me, Chief. He's been really disappointing. Well, actually, I don't know how he did here. Okay, so 3 sacks as a right guard is fine. I mean, that's about what you expect. So I will likely re-sign him, but the 5th year definitely not worth it. Wow, I'm a dumbass. I forgot this team traded their 1st-round pick. Did they trade it for Penning or Olave? That really depends on how bad this is. Okay, well, I'm stupid again. It was to the Eagles. I completely forgot about that. For some reason, I thought it was a trade-up for one of the 2 picks that got either Olave or Penning. I don't know. Either way, though, we don't have a 1st-round pick this year, so we're going to have to pick in the 2nd round. The Texans have the number 1 overall pick. We have the, 48th overall pick, I think this is, round 2, pick 16. So what are we going to do here? We definitely can't go QB, unfortunately. I might go either Mike Holcomb or Roger Nichols later, just as kind of a fuck it pick, but the bright side about this is there are some pretty good players here. Ralph Armstrong, I don't think I'm going to take him, but he looks good. A finesse moves, good run defender overall, great combine, 4.84, 30 reps on the bench is a little low, but at his pro day he had 33, so that's a bit better. And I think the player I'm going to take, unless why did I say Ralph? Preston Peterson looks really good. He doesn't look very good at all. I think I'm just going to go Philip Wolf. Yeah, let's go Philip Wolf. He has normal dev. Okay, I was banking on him having a dev trait. He is already 23. The reason I took him, even though he's 23, is because I thought for sure he would have a dev trait, but he does not. He is strong, is decently athletic, should be a good overall, but kind of disappointing regardless. Oh, I might have found a huge steal. Dave Sheard is out of Washington State too. Let's go. You love to see it. He is a day 3 projection. He's way down here on the board. He's like bottom of day 3 too. Like literally the last draftable prospect for defensive tackles. He's 6'4", 330, so he's pretty thick. No homo. 21 years old out of my Washington State. Let's go. Yes, I own it if you didn't know that. He is unbelievably slow, but that's fine. He put up 38 reps on the bench. Great strength, marginal speed. You know what? Who cares? He's strong. A tackle, A play rec, B to D awareness. Looks like an overall good run defender. Doesn't look like a very good pass rusher. I would bet the power moves isn't all that good. Actually, let's find out. What is he listed as? Okay, he's listed as a pure run stopper, so yeah, that power moves is probably not very good, but that's fine. On the roster, I want to show you this, and I actually didn't even think of this. We have literally 0 defensive tackles, and that's not just it not loading. We have 0. So it's kind of a problem, but Sheard should fill that hole. Pause. So let's take him, Dave Sheard, and he has hidden dev, 93 strength, fucking so slow, and 69 jumping. Nice. I think this is the last pick I'm gonna take. Actually, are we gonna go with that, dude? Hold on, this guy looks good too. That's kind of a sick name. Let's go Bruce Newsome. That almost sounds like a wrestler name or something. I don't know why, it just kind of does. He's 6'3", 386, so much smaller than the last guy. Still slow, like the last dude, not quite as strong. So I don't think this guy's gonna be nearly as good, but looks like a solid run defender, decent awareness and play rec. Looks like a just overall solid player. Is definitely more of a pass rusher than the last guy. A to C power moves. But yeah, let's take him. Also, hidden dev. Oh, I really didn't expect that. I thought he would be a normal, like 69 overall, which there are a lot of those on this screen. There are a lot of 69s on this screen, so nice and nice. But yeah, I thought he would have like a normal dev around 69 overall, but he could be a decent overall, and he has a good dev trait, so you love to see it. Okay. I didn't expect that. This draft was not as good as I thought it would be. So Philip Wolf is a good player. He's a 75 overall, obviously no dev trait though, is very good except for his pass block power, and I guess run block power, it's just being boosted by morale and whatever. But yeah, he would have been a lot better with a dev trait basically, but he still should be a solid starter throughout the rebuild. I expect him to be the starter throughout the rebuild unless we find like an upgrade. I don't know. We'll just have to see. But Dave Sheard, I'm surprised about. He's really not all that good. He's only a 69 overall, which, like I was saying, nice, but yeah, his pass rush is way worse than I thought it would be. He only has a 64 for each. If he does get one of those breakout things, I would definitely go pass rush, because he definitely needs to add a bit of that to his game. But he's a very strong player, very good run defender, like I was saying, just not balanced at all. I mean, I guess his pass rush moves are balanced with each other, but they both suck, so you know what I mean. Bruce Newsome, we'll see what he is at defensive tackle. I love the name, but he might not be that good of a player. He's only a 65 at defensive end. He might go up at defensive tackle. Yeah, he goes up to a 67, which isn't good, but it's better than a 65. So he should be a good run defender. Again, the power moves is disappointing. It was a B, or it was like an A to a C or something, and it ended up being a 70, which isn't great. 69 speed, like I was saying, and wearing number 69, so double nice once again. And then I took a flyer on a QB, and he's actually not bad at all. He's a 68 overall. He has 92 throw power, good play action, throw on the run, short accuracy, deep accuracy. Like, he's very accurate for a 68 overall. Decent speed even. I mean, he's just really well-rounded with a good arm, so you love to see it. And then the last pick, I thought this guy would be good. He is a 62 overall. He's very fast. That's literally it. Here is a look at the team going into year number 2 of the rebuild, and honestly, we kind of have a predicament here, if you will. Just kind of like last year, we have another QB controversy between Jameis Winston and Roger Nichols. So clearly, the big deciding factor in this is going to be how much will they develop and how will they play. And I mean, Jameis has proven that he can play well, but Roger Nichols is younger and hasn't proven he can play well, while Jameis Winston is older. So God, I don't know. I'm gonna start Nichols because I want to try to get him a Rookie of the Year, but I'm kind of worried that it's just gonna make us play like shit. I'm kind of worried he's just not gonna be all that good. I don't know what to do. And I guess Jameis is only proven for like half a year, and he wasn't like stellar, he was just good. Yeah, we'll go with Nichols. But anyways, here's a look at the defense. It's pretty different from last year, I guess. Well, I guess the main difference is just regression, because we have a ton of older players, and then this defensive tackle group is completely different. I mean, 4 for 4, they're all different players. We're gonna go with Dave Sheard as our defensive tackle 1, and then Bruce Newsome at defensive tackle 2 at a 67 overall. So this might be a bit of an ugly year, but we do have a lot of younger players in those bad positions, so we'll see how this year goes. I'm kind of worried, but also the worse we do, the higher draft pick we get. yet, so I don't know. The worst case scenario for us is finishing around 500, because that means we didn't do great and we don't get a great draft pick, but we'll see what happens. Let's get to the mid-season point. Hopefully we just either completely shit the bed or do amazing. Okay, you actually love to see it. So I guess now, if you think about it, we're kind of right around where I said we don't want to be, but we're on the positive side of that. I was thinking just below or at 500, but if we finish like, say, 10-7, that's good enough to make the playoffs, then it's definitely worth it. But if we finish like 9-8, 10-7, and we don't make the playoffs, yeah, it might not be great, but this is a very strong division. No team is more than 1 away from 4 wins. Like the Bucks have 5, us and the Falcons have 4, and then the Panthers have 3. So everyone is kind of in this same range, which is a little scary. I kind of have a feeling that we'll do well, but not well enough to make the playoffs, and that's kind of unfortunate, but hopefully not. Roger Nichols is up to a 70 overall. You love to see that. +2 mid accuracy. Well, I would like to think his accuracy is more than mid, but hey, I'm sorry, that was very unfunny. Let's go slot for Paulson Adebo up to a 76. Nice. And let's check out some re-signings. We should have more money this year, I would hope. Yeah, we have 96 million. Okay. And I don't even think we have that many important well, I guess down here we do, because I cut a lot of these players to free up cap space. It ended up working out. I mean, we ended up with like 20 mil from just me cutting these players and then re-signing them, but yeah, it's nice to have cap space for once in this rebuild. We're probably gonna have to go very player friendly for Marcus Davenport, but that's worth it because he has been very good, but he's just not interested in re-signing, so let's try it, and he doesn't take it. I don't know what to do from here. I could just tag him, but I don't know. Will Lutz, I guess so. It's not that important. We'll go player friendly, I guess, and he takes it. Cesar Ruiz, I definitely want him back, but I'm not gonna go like very player friendly. I'll just go player friendly, and he doesn't want it. Okay. It's weird that nobody's interested in playing here. Oh, I mean, typically in real life, players like playing for bigger teams like New Orleans, Oakland, like New England, Miami, like those bigger city teams, Pittsburgh. But here, none of these players are really all that interested. We'll offer neutral to Adam Troutman, and he takes it. Not that he's necessary. I mean, we're probably going to replace him in free agency this year, but it's at least nice to have kind of an insurance policy there. And everyone else, these are just a lot of depth players / older starters that we're going to have to re-sign later. I definitely want Eric McCoy at the very least. Everyone else is kind of up in the air. I probably want these two back. We'll see. But yeah, we'll reassess this at the end of the year, and hopefully we can get at least most of these players back. And actually, I almost forgot. I want to see how Roger Nichols is doing. He's doing decently well. He's from Washington. I didn't even notice that. There are a lot of Washington and Washington State players in this rebuild for some reason. 1,800 yards, 14 touchdowns, 7 picks. 7 is a little high for the interceptions, but he's literally like a 5th round rookie. You kind of take what you can get. And it actually, oh no, the yearly awards aren't up yet, but I do see Demario Davis with 3 interceptions in week 7, winning defensive player of the week for the NFC. Marshawn Lattimore with 2 picks in week 5. Nice. So it looks like our defense is showing out. Well, that's just my luck, isn't it? Exactly what I said couldn't happen happened as we finish 8-9. The one thing I didn't want to happen happened. Now, the extra shitty part is we started off 5-3 because we won this game right here. We were 4-3 at the midseason, and then we won the next game. I just simmed that out because we had a short week scenario and I wanted to get the XP for it. And then we went on a 3-game losing streak, beat the Bucks, lost to the Cardinals, beat the Packers, lost to the Falcons, beat the Jags. So we basically just went on a big losing streak and then traded wins and losses. That's fun. But let's see how we did. Roger Nichols wasn't all that great. I mean, he was fine. 4,500 yards, 27 touchdowns isn't a ton, and then 14 interceptions is kind of a lot. So what's his overall up to? He's up to a 72. Okay, we'll see if we roll with him again next year. Alvin Kamara had 1,300 yards, 11 touchdowns. Taysom Hill had 500 yards and 15 touchdowns. He's really good in Madden Sim. I put him as like my number 2 running back, and he actually did really well. Receiving, Michael Thomas with 1,500 yards, only 7 touchdowns. Traquan Smith with 900 yards and 6 touchdowns. Chris Olave, just don't put receivers in the slot. They don't do anything in the Saints playbook for some reason. Adam Troutman was decent. Blocking was fine, but we had a lot of different players let up sacks. James Hurst and LaMarcus Rogers got in and let up a sack each. Eric McCoy wasn't very good. I might just not re-sign him. Yeah, I won't re-sign him. I'll look for someone else. Our tackles were good, though. Defensively, Pete Werner led the team in tackles with 126, Demario Davis with 122. Tackles for loss, we had a ton. 20 from Cam Jordan, 18 from Dave Sheard. Potential defensive rookie of the year? Question mark? Marcus Davenport with 17, Bruce Newsome with 13. That's such a fun name. And then Pete Werner with 10. And then sacks, 13 from Marcus Davenport, but he was really the only one that did a lot. Cam Jordan with only 6.5, 5.5 from Dave Sheard. And interceptions, 4 from Demario Davis, 3 each from Pete Werner, Bradley Roby, and Marshawn Lattimore. I'm surprised to see Bradley Roby in there. That's kind of weird. 2 each from Marcus May and Paulson Debo, and then 1 each from Zach Bond and Tyrann Mathieu. We were 6th in offensive yards this year. That's kind of weird. How about defense? 23rd? Our defense looked good in terms of stats. 13th in points scored, which is much lower than our yards, and then 18th in points allowed. So we were just kind of bang on average in points for both sides of the ball. Aaron Rodgers wins MVP. Interesting. 2 up there. I'm happy I finally got the overalls changed. Jordan Love starting for the Buccaneers. Wow, that's something. Offensive player of the year goes to the white boy once again. Actually, 2 white boys at the top. Cooper Kupp, Aaron Rodgers, and then Aaron Jones, another Packers Aaron, and another Packers player, Romeo Doubs, in there. Alvin Kamara at number 7. No other Saints, though. Defensive player of the year goes to Aaron Donald once again. Okay. Nick Bosa all the way at 10. That's like the lowest I've ever seen him. Marcus Davenport at 6. Pete Werner at 8. All right, 2 players up there. Not bad. Okay. Will Sherman of the Giants wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. Roger Nichols down at number 3. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Enrique Pettis of the Bears. Dave Sheard at number 2. This was a shitty year. We didn't win a single award. We got barely beat out for a pretty important Defensive Rookie of the Year. We finished with the exact record I said we can't finish with. Well, time to get to the offseason and try to forget this season ever happened. Interesting, but also boring Super Bowl at the same time. I don't know how to explain it, but like Packers, Broncos, it's interesting, but also boring to me. I don't know why. The Broncos win by 1 point, so it's probably very entertaining. 21-20. I don't know if they still have Russ. Let me actually check. He's probably a lower overall now. I have him at like an 82 in my base roster, which is wild for me. Yeah, they still have him. He hasn't really regressed much, down to an 81. So he is a 2-time Super Bowl champ now. Should be 3, but I try every day harder and harder to forget about the 1 Super Bowl. Also, I did something interesting here. Tim Dale, this is the receiver I took in like the 7th round. He's the same overall at corner, and I thought it would be fun to put him there, so I was like, yeah, why not? He's not very good still, but why not? So, for re-signings, I definitely need Marcus Davenport back. He's not going to accept the offer I give him, no matter what. So we're just going to, oh, never mind. He accepts very player-friendly now. Okay, cool. We're paying him like 20 mil a year, so it might have been worth it to just tag him, but hey, it is what it is. Eric McCoy, I'm not going to bring back. Marcus May was decent. I'll definitely try to bring him back. We'll go neutral, and he takes it. That's kind of surprising. He was a decent player for us last year, so I'm fine with that. Taysom Hill, I'm going to go very player-friendly. He is a sneaky, very good player for us. And he takes that. Nice. Other than that, though, should I bring back Zach Bond? It doesn't really matter. He takes it. I feel like he would be a really good player on the Patriots. He's like a perfect fit for them, like a hybrid off-ball pass rusher type linebacker. Very good. I think he would be a stud on the Patriots. Maybe he goes there someday. You know what? I'm predicting that now. Zach Bond goes to the Patriots someday and breaks out. That's a bold, random prediction. If I get that right, put me in the history books as a genius. Everyone else, though, I guess Cesar Ruiz. Actually, let me know down below. How do you say this? Is it Cesar Ruiz or is it? No, it's Cesar. It's definitely Caesar. I've just heard people say Cesar. I'm like, what are you talking about? It could be, but I doubt it. He doesn't accept our very player-friendly offer. Go fuck yourself. Okay. I don't know what I'm talking about in this rebuild. I'm terribly sorry. Now, hear me out. Should I do it? I feel like it's just not gonna happen, and it would be a waste of like a simulation here, and I could spend the money on someone else, but God, Jalen Hurts would be fun to get. I'm gonna try it. We're gonna stick with it. I don't have much confidence that he will want to sign sign with us, but it could be fun if he does. Gabe Davis I'll bring in. We need a third receiver, so he could be a very good third receiver. And just like that, we're pretty much out of money. Let me see if I can make some cap space, actually. So in free agency, these are going to be the 3 players I'm going to go after. First one being Jalen Hurts. We clearly don't have a true, like, starting level QB. I mean, we have like a 71 overall and a 72 overall. They play a little better than their overalls, but still not at that top level like we probably need. So we're going to bring in Jalen Hurts. This is going to be the first rebuild with my custom rosters where he is like an actual really high overall. Maybe it's a little reactionary to this year because this is really the first year he's been good, but still, I just felt like doing it. We do have the lead for him technically, but we're also tied with the Steelers, so we don't really have the lead. And if I'm being honest, he's not very interested in signing with us, so he probably will not sign with us, but we'll see. We can always hope. Devin White is going to be the next one. I'm not the biggest Devin White fan in real life, if you didn't know. He's kind of just a run defender, that's it. He has 0 coverage ability. I think if he didn't have Levante David next to him, he would be like one of the worst linebackers in the league, or at least regarded as that, but because he has Levante David to make up for his mistakes, he's viewed as good because he gets a lot of tackles and like tackles for loss and shit. I don't know, just play like edge, bro. Like, I don't know. I also lowered him like 4 in my roster update. Teehee XD, don't murder me, please. And then Kenny Moore, flashback to the last rebuild, which if you haven't watched it already, go and do that. After this video, the Colts one, it was a fun one as well. It'll probably pop up in the end screen after this video, so be sure to watch all the way to the end, but we're gonna try to bring him in to be our slot corner. We have a few corners, but we don't have any true nickel corners, so Kenny Moore can be that at a deadly 5'9", 190. So if I'm being honest, I expect to at least get Kenny Moore, probably Devin White, and I don't really think we're gonna get Jalen Hurts, but we can try. So let's see if any of these 3 sign right off the bat, and it looks like Jalen Hurts signs. It's with us. Okay, so he must have been really uninterested in the Steelers. That's huge. Assuming he plays well, which I did see him up there for MVP, I believe, right? I'm having a hard time remembering this is the next day, but that should be a huge signing. Of course, we had to pay him like 45 mil plus per year. I think a little more than that even, so it's not a cheap contract, but I think it's worth it. We are still in the lead for Devin White and Kenny Moore. There are more teams interested in Devin White, but we're still the only one in for Kenny Moore. So let's see if either of these 2 sign. It looks like Devin White signs, and he signs with us. This is just perfect. Unfortunately for us, and unfortunately for me, my thing is frozen. Kenny Moore has an offer from the Packers now. I wonder if I can make a cut and maybe offer him a little more money. Let's cut Maurice Alexander, USFL legend Maurice Alexander. Also, I went and revamped like a lot of USFL All-Stars overalls in my Madden rosters, so that's why I was so easily able to name that he was a USFL player, like he was an all-star. I changed his overall and everything like that. Also, Rashawn Gary went back to the Packers. That's interesting. That's actually kind of rare in this game, weirdly enough, but we're gonna withdraw from Kenny Moore and we will up it a little bit, or we could go Christian Fulton. Nah, we'll go Kenny Moore. That seems like more fun. God damn it, we don't have enough money. Hold on. I wish it would still do that old thing where it automatically just puts the highest offer you can physically bid instead of putting you over the cap, so you have to manually like edit it. It's kind of annoying, but we'll offer him that. He's not interested in that offer. It's like $1 million more. I'm surprised it doesn't bump it up at least 1, but fuck it. Let's see if he takes it. And the Titans are interested. We're now in 3rd. Okay, we're gonna have to go for somebody else. All right, let's go Christian Fulton then. He should be interested. He definitely wants to come here from LSU, so that makes sense. So let's see if he takes it. Oh, we have to go another week. God damn it, dude. Oh, does he just straight up sign in the yeah, he does. Okay, we get Christian Fulton. That's huge. So we get every player we wanted, well, minus Kenny Moore, but we replace him with a younger player in Christian Fulton who will do pretty much the same job. So this is a big free agency class. It fills out really most of our needs. We'll still have the draft, obviously. I think I know what I'm going to go with. We definitely need interior. I didn't realize it was that big of a need for us, to be honest. We actually have more needs than I even realized. Well, we'll figure it out in the draft. Let's get there, and hopefully we can make some moves, you know what I'm saying? Okay, just thinking it over, I might actually make a draft day trade or two because we haven't even done a single trade in this rebuild. Again, it's unrealistic to not do any trades, like every team does at least 1 or 2 trades a year, no matter how big or small it is. But we have pick number 13. The Bears have the number 1 overall pick. Let's get right to our pick. I hate this glitch. Let me get out of here. Okay, that fixed it. Now the background is back. But we actually don't have a 2nd round pick this year, or a 7th. What the fuck were the Saints doing? Okay, so I'm between 2 players here. Del Wheeler, which is a fucking awesome name. I don't know why it is, but it is to me. I don't know. He ran a 4.85, 40 reps on the bench, elite strength. You love to see it. B awareness, A to C play rec, so probably about B. A block shed tackle, maybe a hit power impact block, B power moves. This guy looks pretty good. I might just straight up take him. And then, you know, there are some other good players like Mike Stark. I never checked his speed. What's his speed? 4.31, so pretty good elite speed. A deep route, obviously. He looks nice as well, but receiver is a bigger need too. But we're gonna go Del Wheeler, and he has normal development. I want to die. Technically a bit of a reach, but I think I'm gonna go Sean Parsons. He's a lefty just like me for real, 5'10", 178, so he is very skinny. Ran a 4.27, 4.24 at his pro day. He's very fast, elite speed and acceleration. The reason I'm intrigued by him is because he still has decent catching stats. C catch in traffic and spec catch, and the A to C awareness is interesting. Typically, if you find one of these super fast players, they'll have like just dog shit everything except maybe medium route and then deep route, obviously. But this dude doesn't look too terrible. Obviously, medium route, short route, catching aren't great, but other things are fine. So let's take him, and he has normal. I guess with this pick, I'm just gonna go Kevin Herrera. This has been a very disappointing draft. He's not the slowest tackle ever, has good strength. The power isn't there, but we run an agile scheme anyways, so he looks like a decent fit for that. Has obviously a lead block, impact blocking, so let's take him in. Probably normal? Yeah, normal. Okay. All right, here we're gonna be trading Bradley Roby for a 6 and a 7 from the Patriots. I don't know if we can do anything with those picks, but it's better to have some picks than literally none. I feel like this is kind of a scam. I feel like we're ripping the Ravens off, but I don't care. We're getting a 5, a 6, and a 7 for Zach Bond from the Ravens. This is like pure desperation. We're dipping into the UDFA pool for Greg Hancock because he has a funny last name, and he looks okay. He has okay strength, not great, and fine speed, decent speed. Just looks like a good run blocker, not much. Well, he's well balanced, I guess you would say, but no power, all finesse, which is fine, obviously. Let's take him in normal dev, but could be an okay overall. This is probably going to be the last pick I'm going to show. It's going to be Sharif Beasley out of West Georgia. He has A zone. He is listed with elite speed, ran a 4.62, which is fine. I definitely wouldn't call it elite, especially if he's a coverage linebacker. Elite would be like in the 4.4s, but hey, whatever. He has A zone coverage, A to C man, decent tackling maybe, A to C tackle, we'll see. Let's just take him. He'll probably be like a 62 overall. He does have hidden. I think that is actually our first hidden dev of the entire goddamn rebuild. I think it is. That's depressing. All right. Yeah, these have been probably the worst 2 back-to-back drafts I've ever had. I find that when I have a mid-round pick, like around the 15-16 range, I just draft like dog shit. It's way better when I have either an early one or a late one. I don't know why that is. Maybe it just gives me too many options, but not enough good options. Like when I have an early pick, it's easier for me to discern which the best players are, if that makes any sense. Like, and then when I have a later first round pick, it doesn't give me too many options like a mid round pick would, and I can actually find which players are good. I don't know, but Del Wheeler is only a 74 overall. That was a big miss. I don't know why I ever trust those run stopper defensive ends. They are never good. Sean Parsons is only a 69, which nice, but also like very much not nice. I guess he's gonna be our receiver 3. I'm just not gonna talk talk about the players in this range. We'll forget those ever happened. Vince Spearman is the next best player we took at a 67 overall. He's another deep threat, but pain. Yeah, this was a terrible draft. I think the only hidden dev I got was Sharif Beasley, and he's only a 63 overall. Are you better at safety? Because I will play you there in a heartbeat. He actually is, but still not very good. So, I don't know. I guess we'll do it. He's a very thick safety at 6 foot 230. If this was real life, you would definitely have him slimmed down, but this isn't real life. This is Madden. Sorry to break the fourth wall there, but this ain't real life, Chief. Nothing is real. You're living in a simulation. What's that Jaden Smith quote? Like, how can mirrors be real if our eyes aren't real or some shit? Like, I have no idea. But that's stupid. This trade got declined. It was like literally so small you can't even see it away, which, you know, I heavily relate to. But there we go. We just add a 7th next year. We get Cam Jurgens for a 3rd and a 7th. That's an overpay and a half, to be honest, but we need a center. We have like a 63 overall center. We needed him with all his glory. Literally more hair on his lip than on the top of his head. Well, I guess he's not fully bald, but still. Oh god, that's a horrifying face. I hate that face. It looks like a serial killer. I think they should remove that one from the game. Are we for real gonna be rolling out Hakeem Adeniji at right guard? Oh, this is gonna be a fun year. Let me tell you that, Buster. So this isn't the most glamorous team I've ever rolled into year number 3 with. We might end up doing a 4th year if I have time. This video has to be out tomorrow morning to break the fourth wall a little bit more. So yeah, but this is the team. We clearly have some holes here, just a few of them. So we'll see if this year can kind of develop some of those players. I hope we're gonna be starting Beasley at sub linebacker. Hopefully you can get like a defensive rookie of the year, break out a little bit, or maybe Wheeler. I have a feeling we can win it, maybe even Christie. I doubt it. Offensive rookie of the year, you obviously want Parsons to get it, Sean Parsons, but I don't think he will. We'll just have to see, man. We obviously have some great players like Ryan Ramczyk, Alvin Kamara, Jalen Hurts, Michael Thomas, Chris Olave, Marcus Davenport, Dave Sheard, Marshawn Lattimore, Tyrann Mathieu, Devin White, if you can call him that. I guess he is a good player here, but yeah. We'll see what we can do. I'll see you guys at the midseason point. Hopefully we can do well. So at the midseason point of year number 3, we are very much mid. We are 3-3. What do we do from here? So we have some upgrades. Dave Sheard, Max Mitchell, Chris Olave. Okay, so a couple starters there. We have some re-signings. I think I'm honestly going to do another year. We haven't made the playoffs yet, so I definitely want to do another year. Pete Werner, definitely try to bring him back. We actually have a decent amount of money. The length, so you want a longer deal? Okay. Paulson Adebo, we can afford to go very player friendly. He's very cheap, so he signs that even though he's not interested, which is nice for sure. But I did have to make some cuts to fill out the roster, so we're gonna have to re-sign Michael Thomas, Ryan Ramczyk, and Tyrann Mathieu. So we'll see how that goes. Peyton Turner, we really don't need. This is a bit of a tough one, man. We're in a tough situation. We're not doing amazing. We're not doing terrible either. Let's just get to the end of the year and hopefully we can finish out strong. Okay, well, tough scenes out here. We finished 6-11. Let's see what the problem was. Jalen Hurts was okay. 4,100 yards, 34 touchdowns, 15 picks is a lot. I just think this offensive playbook isn't that good. 1,300 yards, 14 touchdowns from Kamara, 1,400 yards and 11 touchdowns. I wish Michael Thomas had one more yard. Sean Parsons was 750 yards-ish, 7 touchdowns. I don't think that's good enough for Rookie of the Year, but we'll see. 656 yards, 6 touchdowns from Troutman, 606 from Olave, and then 503 from Kamara. Blocking actually wasn't that bad, surprisingly, at least from the tackles. Philip Wolf was horrid. Same with Cam Jurgens. But Penning did well at left tackle. Ryan Ramczyk did really well at right tackle. Kevin Herrera did fine at right guard, who I ended up starting there, by the way. I don't think I showed that, but yeah, I started Kevin Herrera and he was fine. Tackles, Amari Christie led the team with 130. I didn't think he would get that much playing time. And then he had 5 tackles for loss and like nothing else, so probably not defensive rookie of the year, but maybe. 20 tackles from Marcus Davenport, 13 from Dave Sheard, 10 from Del Wheeler, and sacks 14 from Davenport, and then like no other sacks. We had Del Wheeler with 5, Dave Sheard with 3.5, and Bruce Newsom with 3. Marshawn Lattimore led the team with 6 interceptions, Christian Fulton with 4, Sharif Beasley had 3, that's a very good year. 3 from Paulson Adebo and 2 from Tyrann Mathieu. Weirdly enough, nobody with 1. That's interesting. But let's check out yearly awards. So Trevor Lawrence wins MVP. Okay. Joshua Saucedo? I don't know how you say that, but that's certainly a last name. Looks like the Eagles already found a better replacement for Jalen Hurts. That's fun. Offensive Player of the Year, as always, goes to the white boy, Cooper Kupp. Alvin Kamara, number 4, no other Saints. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Levante David. Okay, so maybe he's better off without Devin White, apparently. Marcus Davenport at 6, though. Uchenna Nwosu on the Cardinals, that's interesting. DeAndre Melton does win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Sean Parsons at number 6. Okay, a little lower than I thought he would be. And we don't win Defensive Rookie of the Year. Tyquan Thorne of the Seahawks wins it. Sharif Beasley at 3. Amari Christie at 6. Del Wheeler at 8. So very disappointing in terms of awards. We were very low on all of them compared to where I thought we would be. So let's get to the offseason and let's make this team better, hopefully. Oh, what's with the Titans in this rebuild? Why are they just gods? They absolutely smoke the Rams 24-0, and I believe the first ever Super Bowl shutout? That's super weird. Ooh, Marshawn Lattimore with an upgrade. Let's go. Up to a 93 with morale, 92 base. You'll love to see it. +3, man. Goddamn. Okay, so for the good old re-signings, we definitely want Pete Werner, but he said he wanted a longer contract, so I guess we'll just bump it up a year. Does he want that? Okay, fuck you too then. Tag would be 25.5 mil because Madden's stupid and it doesn't know how to discern edge rushers from off-ball linebackers. That's super cool. And we still have to re-sign Michael Thomas, Ryan Ramczyk, Tyrann Mathieu. Let's start with Michael Thomas. We'll go player friendly, and he takes it. Okay, I'm just worried one of these players are gonna reject, and it won't be fun if they do. We'll go very player friendly for Ryan Ramczyk, and he wants to play for a new team. How much is a tag? 19. Okay, we'll think about that. We might actually do that. And then Tyrann, we'll just go neutral, and he takes it. Okay, so honestly, that's not too bad. We're gonna tag Ryan Ramczyk. That'll leave us with 6 mil. We're obviously not gonna be able to bring back Pete Werner, but we have other good linebackers. So if anything, I would say we made it out of this pretty well. So if you've seen one of my videos before, you will know that I am known for cutting a player in free agency thinking I can sign them back for more, when in fact they end up being more expensive. Or I mean, sign them back for less when in fact they end up being more expensive. But I don't think we're at risk of that with Alvin Kamara at 25 million this year. So, ooh, why is it lagging like that? Ew. We'll release him. I'm gonna restart my game and then we will re-sign him and get into free agency. So in free agency, we have some decent players here for sure. Obviously, you gotta go Alvin Kamara right back. You can't lose him. He's like probably our best player, one of our best players. You need him back. Adds so much value in the receiving game as well, which in my opinion is way more valuable than any like other running back trait, you know what I mean? But let me take a quick look at the roster and look through here and I'll let you know what we can find. So this is the free agency class I whipped up. Obviously, Alvin Kamara, I mean, that one goes without saying. We're gonna re-sign him. I'm actually gonna go for another running back in Travis Etienne. Could be a very good 1-2 punch with Alvin Kamara. Obviously, we kind of had Taysom Hill, who thrived in that role, but he is getting older. I don't think he's going to be quite as good, so Travis Etienne should be a good replacement. I don't know if he's going to put up quite as good of stats, but we'll see. I highly suggest actually trying to get Taysom Hill, because I mean, if you put him at fullback, playing him at like tight end and like backup running back, he does really well. So that's a suggestion from me. We're gonna try to bring Pete Werner back. It's not necessarily necessary, but it would be nice to have him. I mean, he's a good player. He is more expensive than I would hope for, but he's a good player, like I said, so it wouldn't be the end of the world having to pay him this much. I hope he comes back. And then Joe Tryon. You wouldn't really expect this, but oh, I actually can't check his stats right here. Well, he had like 8 sacks this last year and then 14 the year before. He's been low-key a monster. We're obviously going to move him down to defensive end, but also I might even bring out a defensive scheme scheme change, because if you look at it, we were like last for everything. We were 32nd for defensive points per game with 30.8, 32nd for defensive pass yards per game, and our run defense was a little better, but still only 23rd, so I might find a different scheme. I don't know, but let's see if any of these players sign right off the bat. We're in the lead for all of them. Let's see. And 2 of them sign. Ooh, teams are interested in Alvin Kamara. Okay, so Pete Werner and Joe Tryon both sign. I'm gonna pull out pause of Travis Etienne and pull out of Alvin Kamara so he can up his contract, because that's not great. We obviously need him back. Ooh, the Chargers are very interested. Wow, that's a shit ton of money. Oh my god. Okay, that technically puts us in the lead. It's still scary. He might not come back, but come on, Alvin, you can come back. We'll welcome you back. I don't think he signed with us. I just have that feeling. Okay, he did. Okay, crisis averted. We are okay. And just cutting him and re-signing him basically got us Pete Werner back and Joe Tryon. So that's a pretty successful free agency, if you ask me. The bright side about being so shit is that we have the number 4 overall pick. I wish we had the number 1 pick. The Cardinals have the number 1 pick, but we're not too much behind them. We have number 4. We'll see what we can do here. I'm relatively happy with who we scouted, because if you look at it, there are a lot of projected first round guards in here. A straight up first round projected center, and in day 3, like, we can get some legit good players. But with this pick, what do I want to do? Receivers are so hard for me to scout. I don't know why. I just can never tell which ones are legitimately good. The only ones I can really tell are the deep threats. This guy does look very good, even though he has bad short route, catching traffic. He still looks nice. I mean, 4.32 is pretty good, and that's only 5th. Davon Sawyer ran a 4.29. This guy looks good. Ooh, this guy might have to be the pick. This guy looks insane. He's definitely gonna have normal dev. I think I might trade down a touch and then pick Davon Sawyer, but I definitely want him. We definitely don't have to take him at number 4, but I also don't want to trade back too much. We can move back just 2 spots and pick up a 3rd. I mean, it makes sense. We're in top 10, but still. We can pick up an extra 2nd. We can pick up a 3 and a 5 both this year. Ooh, this one almost baited me. I thought this was the 3rd overall pick this year. This is 3rd overall next year. English is hard. I thought this was this year's 3rd overall pick, but it's next year's, which doesn't make sense because we're already at pick 4. I'm stupid. Ignore me. Okay, I want to take this from the Ravens because we literally get a 2nd and a 3rd out of it, but I don't think that guy will still be there at number 15. However, he might be there at 13. I'm going to take this from New England for a 2 and a 4. We trade back to pick number 13, and hopefully we can get our receiver. There goes a corner. I low-key shitted myself because I thought that was the guy, but Davon Sawyer, 4.29, obviously. This dude looks insane. A deep route. I'm ready to see normal development. Okay, he does have hidden. Beautiful. It like lagged like crazy. I thought I just crashed the game by taking him, but he looks very good. 97 speed, 92 change of direction, good excel. Looks like a very good player. I don't know if I'm too keen on Chris Keene, but he looks fine. B awareness, play rec, good block shed, tackle. I mean, everything's like a B or a C. I don't think that screams a very good player. He is very strong. 27 reps on the bench, which was first for linebackers. I guess that's not extremely strong or anything, but it was first. Ooh, this guy looks good. Rick Abbott. His attributes don't look like anything too special, but he does have a B zone, maybe B press, B tackle, but he ran a 4.38 and a 4.33 at his pro day, and he's decently strong too. We don't really need another corner, but he looks good, so let's take Rick Abbott. Okay, he has normal. That might have been a huge miss, but also it's a learning experience. I'll learn if corners are good. I don't know, or which corners are good. Here, I think we're gonna go Frank Thompson. He had, oh my god, he had almost elite everything at the combine. Well, he was 50 for 50, 50% on elites. He was first for almost everything except 20-yard shuttle. He is insane. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 A's that matter, 2 that don't really, but they're still A's. This guy looks crazy. Let's take him. And he has hidden it. Okay, I thought he was going to have normal. 77 speed at center. Can we put him out there at tight end or something? Like, Jesus. I forgot we don't have a 3rd round pick. That kind of sucks. I think we might go Jerome Swain here. We need a number 2 tight end, maybe a number 1 if he's good enough, but probably not. He was first at the combine for 40-yard dash and vertical jump and 20-yard shuttle. He has elite jumping, great great speed. He has amazing catch in traffic, maybe good short, or definitely good short route, maybe good awareness, maybe good deep route. Looks like a hopefully well-rounded tight end. Let's take him. And he has normal dev. Who would have guessed? But hey, in the 4th round, that still might be pretty good value. And just in case that guy isn't good, I might go with another tight end, to be honest. Jonathan Beeson, same speed, maybe a little faster because he had a slightly better pro day. His attributes are a little worse, but hey, you never know. Let's take him. And he also is normal. Okay, well, we have our tight end 2 and tight end 3 at the very least. So we had a decent draft. Davon Sawyer is a 77 overall. He's even better than I thought he would be. He looks amazing. There isn't really anything he's not good at. I guess his hands aren't the best because his base is like 78 for catching. He just has a +5 to make it 83. And I guess his short and medium routes aren't very good, but he's going to be a deep threat anyways. We're not going to really have to worry about short routes with him, so that should be nice. Rick Abbott is only a 73. I was hoping he would be a little better, but he does have poor man, so we should be able to get that up by just going slot upgrades, so that's fine. He's only 5'9". Damn, son. Short king out here, I guess. I don't know. Frank Thompson does look very nice. He'll start at center for us. We're still going to have to figure out what we're going to do at right guard. I kind of wish instead of like one of these tight ends, I went with another one of those guards because there were a few projected 1st rounder even instead of this corner right here, but hey, it is what it is. Our tight ends are only a 66 and a 67 respectively. So obviously Beeson's going to start, but neither of them are very good. I guess he's not going to start. He's going to be the number 2, but he's just going to play over him. I mean, easily a right guard I took is only a 65, and then D'Angelo Stapleton is actually pretty good at a 69 overall. Nice. Just a very good run defender. Don't know what that's really going to bring to the team, but will be a good depth player at the very least. So definitely an interesting draft, but we did fill some holes. Pause. So we've kind of gone off the rails of realism here. We're trading Cam Jurgen me off for this Watkins guy from the Broncos, just straight up, and he is only 23 years old. He has star dev. Should be pretty good. I mean, we'll see. I like it though. I like the trade for us. So super quick, if you have enjoyed today's video, be sure to drop a like and a sub and turn on notifications. It all takes you like 5 seconds, and if you've made it all the way here, you had to have enjoyed it at least a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it takes like 2 seconds, so be sure to do that. And let me know what team to do next, because when I pick your comment, I'll give you a shout out just like the one at the beginning of this video, and I'll drop you a sub myself, and everyone else will, so be sure to do that. Plus, I want to know what you guys want to see me do. But this is a look at our team. We're looking pretty good. It's still a team kind of in development. We have a lot of younger players, like Sawyer, Wolf, Thompson, Watkins, even Olave still. Jalen Hurts is still relatively young. And then on the defense here, we have Christian Fulton's still pretty young, Paulson Adebo. Our defensive tackles are both very young still. So we could develop quite a bit this year, but of course this is going to be the final year, so they better develop this year if they're going to develop, you know what I mean? And also, we had a few players go up in development trait. Marcus Davenport and Marshawn Lattimore each went up to X Factor, which is pretty huge. None on offense, unfortunately, but that's fine. And actually, I want to point this out. Beasley is up to a 70, so that's pretty cool. It's just always satisfying to me to move a player to a different position and develop them there. I don't know why that is, but it's just satisfying to me. I don't know why. 69 zone coverage, nice of course, but he looks pretty good. He'll be our sub linebacker, so hopefully he can do well there again. But yeah, this team is very strong. I'm excited to see how we can do, so let's get to the end of year number 4, the final year of the rebuild, and hopefully we can do well. Okay, so super quick, before I reveal how we did, I think you could take a wild guess based off the morale boosts, but before I reveal the record, be sure to like, sub, turn on notifications once again, and let me know what team to do next, because I always want to know what you guys want to do. And of course, when I pick your comment, I'll give you a shout out, because it's more of a when, not really an if, because I mean, I think I've done every single comment up to this point, so let me know what team I should do. But this is a look at the team. We had a lot of development, so I kind of saw this coming. Sawyer has superstar dev, which is pretty nice. 98 speed, so he got a +1 speed, 87 deep route. He looks very good. And actually, we had a during the season breakout. I went through the experience, we'll just say, of simulating every single game and doing every breakout, and Jalen Hurts went up to X Factor. He's looking very good. And then defensively, everything else is relatively the same. I mean, we did get like a scenario where we ended up getting +5 5. Plus 5 to each coverage stat for our corners, which is very nice. It's just a morale thing. It's not a permanent boost, but it's still nice to have for the playoffs. I think it was like a QB battle or something like that. I don't know. But we end up going 10-7. It was a little scary because we started off 3-4. However, I ended up switching the defensive playbook to the New York Jets and it worked much better. I just went off of, I think, best defensive points per game because we were one of the lowest in that. And it looks like it worked out pretty well. Now let's actually see how we did this year. So Jalen Hurts looks like he was very good. I said that very weirdly. I'm stumbling over my words. I'm not like drunk or anything, I swear. 4,500 yards, 37 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, which is like the best for any QB we've had other than Jameis year 1, but he only played like half a year. I kind of almost wish I just went with Jameis for the rebuild because he probably would have done about this well for like a quarter of the money. So maybe a bit of an oopsie there, you know what I'm saying? But hey, it's whatever. We have a good QB now. Alvin Kamara, 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns. Tyrion Davis-Price, I ended up picking him in just regular free agency, like before the season, or I guess during the preseason, and he was okay, not great yards per carry, 7 touchdowns, kind of stole some of them from Kamara, so it's whatever. Almost 1,500 yards from Michael Thomas, 11 touchdowns, and 11 touchdowns from Chris Olave as well, 950-ish yards for him, 850 yards and 5 touchdowns from Davon Sawyer. Adam Troutman has been decent throughout this rebuild, 700 yards, 7 touchdowns. Blocking, it was pretty good. Trevor Penning led up 10 sacks, but I mean, that's not that bad for a left tackle, which is weird because that would be a ton for your life, but hey, whatever. 5 sacks led up from Phillip Wolf, 4 from Ryan Ramczyk, 4 from Frank Thompson, not great, and then only 2 from Jalen Watkins. That was pretty good. I guess I didn't really need Jalen Watkins because Kevin Herrera was pretty good last year. He's up to a 73. He came in at like a 64 overall when we drafted him, so he's definitely come a long way. And also, all of our offensive linemen got like 2,500 XP from a breakout, so a lot of their overalls got boosted quite a bit. We had a lot of development this year. Defensively, not a great amount of tackles, which is a pretty good thing. It means our defense was getting off the field quick. 96 tackles from Pete Werner led the team, 16 tackles for loss from Joe Tryon, 12 from Dave Sheard. I highly suggest getting Joe Tryon in a rebuild. He also had 8.5 sacks. He was very good and not that expensive either. He is a sneaky good pickup for Madden. In terms of sacks though, 14 from Marcus Davenport. Now he's not so much a budget one because he's in free agency pretty much every year in year 1 and he's like 20 plus mil, but he does do very well. So if you want a good player who performs well, I also suggest Marcus Davenport. 5.5 sacks from Dave Sheard and then nothing really after that. Del Wheeler wasn't very good. In interceptions, we barely got any. 4 from Marshawn Lattimore was good for sure, but outside of him, 2 from Rick Abbott, which is impressive considering he didn't even really play. He only played 248 snaps and got 2 interceptions, so pretty good. Pete Werner, Paulson Adebo, and Alontae Taylor each had an interception, and that's it. None from either of our safeties, actually. They've both been pretty disappointing, I'm not gonna lie. Tyrann especially, I mean, he hasn't really done much, especially this year. Only 2 pass deflections. That's really his only stat, other than, of course, tackles. He was pretty terrible. Yearly awards, let's see if Jalen Hurts was up there for MVP, so it goes to Joe Shiesty, Joe Burrow. We have some young QBs in here. Todd Spitzer, Timmy Cartwright, Malik Griffin, Will Herman. No Jalen Hurts, unfortunately. Offensive Player of the Year, of course, goes to the white boy Cooper Kupp. Who would have guessed? There's Chris Godwin. I wanted to get him, but I don't know if he would add the same production in our playbook on our team. Alvin Kamara at number 8. Chase Claypool up there. Michael Thomas at number 10. That's cool. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Fred Warner. That's kind of a different one. Darrell Taylor. That's weird. Okay. Marcus Davenport at number 8. I'm surprised no Joe Tryon. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Daniel Peterson of the Commies. Davon Sawyer at number 3. That's not surprising. He wasn't amazing. He was good for sure, but not amazing. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Sean Gaines of the Seattle Seahawks. And actually, Chris Keen. I made the whole terrible joke about me not being super keen on Chris Keen, but hey, maybe I was wrong for not taking him because he was up there for Defensive Player of the Year or Defensive Rookie of the Year. Rick Abbott at number 8, and that's it. So no award wins, but at least we placed up there. I'm surprised Marcus Davenport wasn't higher. He was very good. But we have a scenario first of many. I feel like it's bad. No, I'll click it. I feel like it's bad luck to click it, and I also feel like it's bad luck to not click it, so I don't know what to do. We'll just say play it cool. We'll play it cool. Bowl. No risk, no reward. I'm fine with that. I just don't want to screw myself. So let's see if we can take down the Los Angeles Rams. And we surprisingly do. 35-28. I thought for sure we were going to win that or lose that, even though we deserve to win it. Like, we have the same record, much better team overall. We were like 8 overall higher than them. I just felt like we were going to get cheated. But we have some upgrades here. Rick Abbott. Ooh, he's turning into a really good player. We'll obviously go slot for him. +2 man. I was hoping he would get more. He's up to a 69. Nice. But with that +5, it is a 74. Quick maths. And a couple upgrades on the offensive line. 1 starter. So that's pretty nice. But we're going to be taking on Green Bay. I don't even know if it matters if I click on this because it's no reward. But I mean, we still won. So it is what it is. Maybe I should have gone guarantee win. But hey, whatever. I thought we'd get no reward. It gives us 7 staff points. Okay. I mean, that's not no reward. That's a reward. But whatever. We're in the divisional against Green Bay. Jair had 7 interceptions. Jesus. But let's see if we can take down Green Bay, who are currently playing at the time of me recording this for Thursday Night Football. I have to have this video out in about 15 hours, and that includes sleeping. So see if I can do that. But let's see if we can take down Green Bay. And we do. 28-21. We're going to be taking on Dallas. Now, they do have a worse record, but they are barely a worse team than us. They're an 85 overall. We're an 86. This is going to be the best team on paper that we have faced. Let's check out what the upgrades are. We have more of them. Some decent ones. Paulson Adebo, that's pretty nice. We'll definitely go slot, bring him up to an 80 overall. 85 man, you'll love to see it. Amari Christie, Walter Fredrickson. That's a fucking goofy name. He looks like an elf. Okay. I'm sorry for insulting our team. Micah Parsons had 14 sacks. Jesus. But hey, so did Marcus Davenport. So, you know, it is what it is. Let's see if we can take down Dallas. Let's sim a week to the Pro Bowl and hopefully we can take them down. We do. Dude, we have won every single game so far by 1 touchdown, I believe. So here's this just to prove I didn't force any wins. This was scary right here when I was simming this. We got crushed back to back. We went on a huge win streak, like I said, because we were 3-4, and then I was like, let's try out the Jets playbook. I guess it was about here, and then we won 1, we lost 1, and then we went on a huge win streak, lost a couple, and then we blew out the Patriots for the last game. But yeah, we've won every game in the playoffs by exactly 7 points so far, so maybe we can keep it the same for the Super Bowl, which, spoilers, is the Raiders. That's gonna be an annoying fan Super Bowl for sure. Raiders Saints, I'm not ready for that one. I'm sorry if you're a Saints fan, but a lot of them are annoying. Same with Raiders. So we are a 86 overall to their 82. However, they went 12-5. I was actually thinking about doing something for a rebuild where we just ignore Madden simulation and I just force wins basically off of what our team overall is, because I think it would be fun because it would just reward me for actually building a good team, which is really all I can do. So basically I would just try to build the best team in the league, which is still not easy doing it realistically. I was thinking about doing that. I would still have a just simulated game every 6 weeks where I just don't force any wins based off of team overall and just let Madden simulation do its thing. I've done it before, just not recorded. It takes a while, but it's fun to do. I don't know, it's just a thought, but I thought it would be an interesting concept. But we have a Super Bowl media day. I said that like this is super interesting. It's really not. It's just gonna be, what do you feel about this? How do you feel? How does this make you feel? Cool, 10 staff points, super helpful. But hey, just simulating these games and not jumping into them has worked so far. So I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know what I'm saying? So let's just simulate the week and let's see if we can win our Super Bowl. I don't know what I expected. It wasn't that though. We lose in Super Bowl 60, 38-23. But hey, we brought the Saints to the Super Bowl. This is arguably the hardest team to rebuild because of their incredibly terrible cap situation. So I'm not disappointed with how this went. I'm glad we could bring this disgusting roster to the Super Bowl. This team isn't bad, but this is not one of the better rebuild teams I've ever had. It's only an 85. Normally I get them about 88 plus. So hey, the fact that we made a Super Bowl is pretty impressive to me. But if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to like, sub, turn on notifications. Of course, I've said a million times. Let's shoot for what, 40 likes and 560 subs? Is that what we're getting close to? Yeah, 40 likes, 560 subs. We're really close to that sub goal. And let me know what team to do next, because I will shout you out. But thank you so much for watching. I really hope you did enjoy, and as always, I will see you guys again in the next video. Goodbye.
more, I'll